Well, hello and welcome back to Tarot for Our Times. I'm Sarah, your medium on the go. And this medium on the go is going to Buffalo this weekend to do a spirit fair at I might as well get the plug in, at the Dragonfly Soul and Spirit Center on Main Street in the Williamsville area of Buffalo. And it's a great shop too. You can get all your crystals and everything there, and it's a lovely fair. So for those of you in Western New York or who are going to be up visiting Niagara Falls or Chautauqua this weekend, stop on over and get a reading from me and the others. So at any rate, I feel as though this is a continuing saga. But I've been kind of following the taco and the muskrat, and it just like one thing after another, watching all the videos from Midas Touch to the more esoteric ones from my colleagues, and this is just goes on and on and on and on. This may seem to be a continuation of the last one, and since I'm not too confident with my end screen placement, I'm going to put the link to the previous one on the in the description part. So at any rate, this one is in the continuing soap opera. This one is Epstein, the ghost in the middle of the taco and muskrat divorce. And everybody is just getting involved in this. It was about the budget. That was the big drama. That drama is still going on with Rand Paul and company. And even Marge in the House doesn't like it, so some people are siding with the muskrat. It's taco time for the others. You need a scorecard to keep up. So, at any rate, this guy's going to be appearing a lot. So, we've got death is the card for the night. And as you can see in the thumbnail, we have the muskrat riding that. I think he's riding that horse, and the cast of characters. I didn't put a head on the dead king because I don't want to be kicked off of YouTube, but I put a red hat on him. So at any rate, I think I disagree with people I really like Mary Trump, and I've had it girls where they say, well, the muskrat really isn't going away. They say he, and I was kind of back and forth about this, but as the story is unfolded, I think I tend to agree. I think I'm going with my colleagues who say, yeah, he's kind of exiting. I think that was the original plan. He was going to stick around, and I've been saying all along that since he entered the scene, that he and both of these guys kind of have to get along because they've got the goods on each other. I said, but I've been saying, but those big narcissistic egos could win out and all bets are off. So it looks like that's happening now, unless they're the best actors in the world, which I doubt, because you can see right through them. So, but now everybody is fighting. So, the whole thing today is Epstein. Epstein is the ghost. He is the ghost right behind the scenes of the death card. So I'm going to keep it simple with a couple of decks because I don't want to make this a very long video. So I'm just going to use a couple of them here. So I'm going to do kind of a general reading and see where it goes. And if something comes up that needs a little bit more, there'll be the short reading. So apparently the muskrat got really mad. The taco was kind of like sour, I guess, and so he went for the jugular, and the jugular's Epstein. Now, I do have to say, all of this is like big breaking news, and you know what? Do you know what my colleagues and I are saying? We're going, duh, we've known this. We've known this for months now. And okay, the YouTube people, they're gobbling this up. The mainstream ones they're kind of tippy-toeing and saying washing, and that's why nobody's watching them anyway. But I wonder when the sensationalism and the smuttiness, when you get to Epstein, is going to finally, make them kind of crack, so to speak. Someone will have to tell me about it since I don't watch them anymore. So, at any rate, okay, so we're going to do a general reading, see where it goes, because it's like, who knows what's happening in the course of this. I mean, these guys are so hopped up on for entertainment purposes only. God only knows so what. So they don't sleep. I mean, that's why you wake up in the morning, it's like, oh my God, don't these people ever sleep? I guess not with all the ketamine, Adderall, God knows what else. Okay, so where this is at now is, the Three of Wands. Okay, in reverse. Okay, so while this soap opera is going on, they're not paying attention to what's going on in the rest of the world, which is getting the biggest laugh. And I'm with them. I just like to have a good laugh at their expense. So I understand that Taco got into a little bit of a hissy fit because Zelensky didn't tell him about what they were going to do. Oh my goodness, can you imagine that? Okay, so this is telling me they're ignoring the rest of the world because they are so caught up in this. Except they'll take a couple minutes out to criticize Zelensky, and then that's another read. The Chancellor of Germany was there today, and oh my God, the press thing was so embarrassing. I don't want to repeat it. You can watch it. Midas Touch and all of them show a few. I like the ones. Look at Mary Trump's, because she gives him that Donald Duck speed up the thing, which makes it hilarious. Okay, so the energy crossing that is, oh yeah, Kel Surprise, the Tower. So where they're fighting over their sex lives, or their perversions, I should say, we're just having crises. They're creating their own crises, and yet they're ignoring. It goes all over the world. I mean, it really does. This is, that people in other countries are being affected by this. So this is a perfect thing. So let's see. What's underlying all of this? Okay, we have, perfect. Empress in reverse, which means Russia is really weakened right now because of these, because of taking out all of those aircrafts and that crucial bridge. And I think number 3, I have a strong feeling number 3. So right now, Russia's going to hell in a handbasket, and they're so wrapped up in the Epstein scandal that's being ignored. And but I guess there's a silver. Well, this is very entertaining, so perhaps this is for the best. And then we have, yep, they're just all fighting and walking away from the stuff. It's in reverse, in an incredibly emotion. I mean, it's just one big drama scene. I wouldn't be surprised if the House and Senate go British Parliament and start duking it, screaming and duking it out on the floor. I mean, okay, then we have, okay, treachery and betrayal here. It's just people are stabbing each other. And this is kind of an emotional one. You know, you got the Ten of Swords, but this one is going through the heart. I think there's a lot of broken hearts because the MAGA people are infighting, and they're infighting where they live, the common folk and the ones in Congress. They're all fighting. Fascism does not do well in those conditions. It doesn't. So get your popcorn and buckle up. So, in opposition to that, we have, the Ten of Swords in reverse. They cannot carry the load anymore. All of this is going on. Everything is being neglected. I'm sure that bill is so stalled in the Senate. And as I said in the previous one, Rand Paul is gathering the troops. This is a group that cannot walk and chew gum at the same time. So this is just total chaos. And it's not the chaos it is distracting, but it's not the chaos that is distracting us while they do something behind our backs, because they're too involved in the drama. Okay, so we're going to go to conscious and unconscious. This should be fun. Okay. So, with all of this going on, so the conscious thought here, we have the Page of Cups. They're kind of trying to weigh their options, but they're looking at this from an emotional point of view. And I like this fish in the cup, and it's all kinds of fishy, stinky things. And this is a page, so it's supposed to be about beginning. So they're back in their, adolescent emotions. So they're thinking, and they are acting like a bunch of, not even high school, but like junior high school kids of 12. Did somebody describe them as like 12-year-old boys? It's one of the many things I've heard. Subconscious. This is very interesting because the meaning of this in a lot of cases is, if you don't take care of yourself and watch your health, the universe will do it for you, which means you're going to get sick. So, to me, the subconscious thing is like the big elephant in the middle of the room, besides Epstein, is the rapid decline of Taco Bell boy. I mean, not only his mental health, but he isn't looking too hot either. So I think this is, maybe some of them are glad that this is happening, but this is the underlying thing, is that he is not even putting on an act of being the strong leader. He's not doing what they hired him to be, which is really telling me that this truly is the deep state. This Project 25, this is if you want to talk about a deep state, and I've said this from the beginning, yeah, it kind of worked 10 years ago, but it's not really working now. Okay, so in the past with this, which could be 5 minutes ago, who knows? Okay, so in the past, we have the Ten of Cups. This is very interesting because they were supposed to be all happy, joyous, and free when he won and House and Senate won, went Republican. But that was short lived. So now they're living in the reality of this family isn't very happy. The rainbow is gone. And this is what they're dealing with. This is, they had to have seen this from before he even took office. But now it's even worse. So, in the present, we have justice. Very interesting, because one of those things, I forget his name, but that god-awful guy that wants to have all our data of everybody on the earth, and because we've been so focused on this is the quietly the lawsuits are rolling in on this, and this is what this is what the fight is about, because MAGA is like, well, we don't want big government in our business except when it comes to controlling women's bodies, but we don't want people snooping into our business. So while they're all out there fighting, the lawsuits are rolling in, and I did get a little bit of a hit, like, if they think that Anonymous is going to stay idle and not touch this one and try to sabotage it, they're living in a fantasy land. So while this is going on, justice is at work. And then we have strength, which is the female energy. And this lion is pretty tame. In the other deck, she's, holding, the lion has his mouth open in a roar. And now it's pretty tame. So what this is saying is that in the background, the women are acting, unless you're Marjorie Taylor Greene, the women are acting in the same way, probably being very quiet while all these privileged white old guys are going hysterical. Right now, in all the branches of government, the progressive women are figuring out how to, while the crazies are out there, they're kind of taming the beast and working behind the scenes, which I find very good. So, moving a little bit more into the future, Ace of Swords in reverse. And this isn't just about lie, because when this is upright, it's like the truth. We cut through the BS, and this is the opposite. This isn't just lying and telling a few fibs. This is bringing it up to the fine Trumpian art. It's the art of the lie. And this is what they're going to do. He's going to try to lie his way out of Jeffrey Epstein. And apparently now, aside from all the clips we've seen of him back in the 90s, apparently they're showing more, more audio, and how the kind of intimate nature of the friendship, and the googling or whatever of these very, very young girls. I don't even know if they've made it to high school yet, but it is truly eye-opening and disgusting too. But they'll lie. They will lie, and only the strongest Kool-Aid drinking members of the cult are going to believe those lies. Like, oh, those aren't real. Well, they look pretty real to me. Okay, so I want to go a little bit the more long term. We have, this has come up before, as all of these, this kind of, it goes along with the this is the 9 of Wands. This is that's the 10 of Wands. This is the 9 of Wands. And I would say that this is a good preceding card to the, they're both of them in reverse. what this is saying is that they keep coming back and winning the, kind of making these little wins, but not so much now. They're getting battle weary and it's not sustainable. So what that means is that they're not going to be able to carry these anymore. There'll be too many injuries and they're going to drop. That's why I chose the death card. It was like a no-brainer with the death card. Because it is beginnings and ends. And to me, it is the beginning of the end. Now, who knows how long it's going to take for him to reach the pillars of transformation. It's anybody's guess, but things are accelerating. That's what I keep saying. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of hopes and fears here. Okay, so hopes. Oh, okay. Only need one card for this. In the hopes, he's going to try to do some bargaining and convince the patrons, in other words, the donors and the voters, try to give good for following the Ace of Swords in reverse, is going to try to sell them a bill of goods. So that's the hope. The fear is that people may not be buying it anymore. That's why. Okay, so I want to do in this, with the two main characters, how they see how does Taco and Muskrat see themselves? Okay, how they see themselves. Alrighty. Ooh, okay. They're starting to worry now. With all these rods and swords in reverse here, I notice in Major Arcana here, in couple of strong major arcanas, I think that they see themselves as presenting the image that they're worrying about us, we the people, when they're actually worrying about themselves. But it's like this fake concern that they have, that they're so patriotic, and if we're up at night, it's for you. Okay. So how the others see them, which is, I'm telling you, so I have to say to myself, did I put this on purpose? No, I didn't. How others see them. 5 of Swords. For the utter thieves and con artists they are. But look at this. They're losing the voters. He's got the goodies. He's got, and this is all of the stuff, whether it's Epstein or the bill or whatever, it's all about their graft and thievery. And that's how we're seeing them. Obviously, that's how these people are seeing them, because they are going away. And so, if he's got the people in MAGA backing off and arguing, that's not a good look. They may lose a few of the cool. I'm not thinking whole lot, but you never know. So let's see what the big conclusion of this is. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, the moon in reverse. And this goes so well with it, because I'm telling you that now that he's opened the gate of Epstein's ghost, there's going to be a lot of stuff of, really the deep, dark secrets and all of this stuff that's connected with him. That's going to come out. That's going to come. It's going to be like you'll want to take a shower afterwards. And it is definitely showing the darker nature of the U.S., of where we can go, and it is not pretty. We do love, the world loves a scandal. the world does love a scandal. So what this is telling me is that I think the mainstream, they will, when it comes to sex, even if it's really perverse, they can't resist. They know that that's what sells. That's what sells the products. And if it makes Taco Man look bad, then so be it. Although they'd be really stupid, because what'll happen is, he'll try to sue them, and hopefully they won't be stupid enough to settle like CBS and ABC and those other douchebags. But at any rate, I want to see, just to take a quick look of a quickie read on, so what's going to happen with Trump and the Muskrat? Is the Muskrat going back to South Africa? You kind of have to wonder, because Taco has threatened to end his contracts. I don't know how he thinks he can do that on his own, but what the hell, he thinks he can. So that's a big threat. But on the other hand, what the Muskrat can tell, the tales he can tell, are pretty damaging. So I think I'm going to do just a very quick double read on this, because it really looks as though there is a big rift. I think they took his keys to the kingdom away from him. So, and yet if he sticks around, somebody was calling, it's some Republican. I'm so inundated with this news, it's just like hard to keep it all straight. Was it Steve Bannon? I think it was Steve Bannon, who wants him to be deported. Hey, and you know what? As much as I hate to agree with people like that, guess what? He's right. The guy overstayed his visa. People are getting booted out for a lot less than that. They're being booted out for nothing. So there's that possibility, because whatever he has on FOTUS can just have his behind deported and get him out of here. So I'm going to do a side-by-side thing. Very quick one. Okay, so here we have, this is, the big ones will be the Taco. Oh, Two of Wands. Trying to look to his future. I would say that this is that very embarrassing visit he had with the German Chancellor today, who just could not. The discussion they had on, here's Trump mocking him because, D-Day didn't work out well for you, and then but he came back with a perfect answer. It's like, yes, it did work out for us, because it got fascism out of Germany. That was the beginning of the end of fascism in Germany. So it's like I did a few days ago when I did the June 6th thing. So, okay, so here he is, as escapism is trying to pretend he's a world leader. Okay. And ends up looking, it's embarrassing. Okay, so for the Muskrat, we have, he may leave. He may actually leave. Now, for how long? That's the question. But he may leave. He may make a big gesture of leaving in the hopes that this one says, oh, don't go. Please come back. Please come back. So, the energy around that would be, The Six of Cups. Oops, sorry. They stick together. No. Oh, Chariot in reverse. Okay. Chariot in reverse. I would say because of this major ego clash that these guys are not moving forward. And which could throw a monkey wrench into using all of our data. That's so scary. It's beyond belief. Okay, so what we're going to do, so in opposition to this, to the, oh, it's in opposition to the Trump mindset of, I think he'd like to go back 10 years ago when he was still lucid. I think underlying a lot of this is he knows he's probably inherited, for entertainment purposes only, his father's dementia and showing similar signs of that. So he really, I think he's trying so hard to go back to what he was when he decided to run and had charisma to yuck pooey to certain people. And that's what he's really tried. The more he tries, the more he just gets himself in deeper. So, okay, so in the past with him, in the past, this is the past, he has been able to, this goes back to the Access Hollywood tapes, to stalling on most of his criminal trials, that he's just come back, slapped the bandage on, and started all over again. But this is in the past, don't forget. Okay, so in the opposition with the Muskrat, we have Justice in reverse. If he could get off his high long enough, he might see that this whole thing is starting to fall apart, and that he may be worried about, because that's why he helped him in the first place. He may skedaddle because, drug people will get really, really paranoid. Is that, at least for the time being, that's a very big overriding thing with him. So he's going to want to get the hell out of Dodge for a while anyway, to avoid his day in court, so to speak. They've got a lot of stuff on him. So, I mean, that's why he was playing nice with Trump, but I think both of them have really, they're kind of over each other. Okay, so in the past with him, the Knight of Wands, like the, go-getting entrepreneur, but the danger with this is a young guy, the danger of this is moving too fast. You get careless. That's what he did. Okay, so let's see if we can do, okay. Donnie Boy in the now is, the King of Pentacles, corrupt king, and it's becoming more and more apparent. And of course, in this, to me, Pentacles in reverse are starting to become like crypto. So here he is, corrupt and profiting off of that. And as for the little rodent over here, is getting more money. There is not enough in the entire world. Even if he has enough for his next 5 generations, it's not enough. He's chasing that dollar down. Okay, so in the present is, Two of Cups. This is what Donnie does a lot of times. Once he's thrown someone under the bus, actually I think Elon beat him to it, but once he's done with someone, he gets a new alliance. And because he can never stick with people that long. That's the way he is. So here we have him in the present like this. And then with the muskrat in the present is the sun. He's no longer the golden boy. And he lives in a totally delusional world. See, the sun upright, he's very open to the truth. And in the reversal, he's trying to throw some clouds around the sun. But the sun always shines through. That's what he's doing now. And he's taking anything he can throw at the wall. But that, ouch, Jeffrey Epstein, that's a pretty big one. So, going into the immediate future with him is, well, we got the moon. We've got the moon. It's not in reverse. So, this tells me that the dementia or whatever it is not as bad as it's going to get. This looks like fairly in the beginning. He's not back there with the crab in the water, but it's going down the road. It is starting to go down the road, and he does have enough moments of clarity to be worried about if he's inherited his father's illness. And so it's progressing with all of the shadow and crazy stuff that goes with it. Okay. Then we have, for Muskrat, we have cry, 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 get emotional, get emotional. So he's going to do the big emotional thing and be the victim, and it's totally disgusting. Okay, so so we're getting further into the future. The further into the future is the Page of Wands in reverse. He's no longer the young, inspiring person with charisma, if that's kind of charisma's in your taste, that he was back in New York in the 80s and the 90s. And I did live in New York in the 80s, and he was always on the scene, the go-getter, but it was an illusion about the big-time entrepreneur of casinos in Atlantic City. And so now he's kind of like the temperamental little baby, yelling and screaming and not really being an inspiring person. Okay, so then we have the muskrat. Oh. Yep, he may not rule a country, but ruling his empire of business, not doing so well. Plus the fact that the world knows, as if it didn't know already, that he does have a drug problem. I knew, as I said in an earlier video, I knew about the ketamine. I figured he probably mixed it with other stuff, but I didn't really know the extent too much. So here he is, he hooked up, he hitched his wagon to this, and just like him, the king's new clothes, which are nothing. Apparently today the Tesla stock took a big nosedive. So I'm going to do a conclusion and see if this goes along with both of them. So let's see, for the big conclusion, we've got, this is interesting because this will go right in the middle. We've got these two people competing to be the star. And I said this like back in January, February, that they are very competitive to see who can be the star. And what his, kid said as he spread boogers all over the president's desk is that Daddy is the real president. And kids, he didn't make that up. Kids just parrot what they hear. So, and also it's the battle between the rational and their intuitive were neither of which they really had. So I think they did have the intuitive thing, but they abused it, So, okay, so that's what they have. It's the battling of who's going to topple whom off. So let's see. What is there a lesson to be learned from this? Okay. The lesson we can learn from all of this is, it's just not your local mafia, whether it's the Italians, the Russians, the Colombians, whatever you name it. It can exist at anywhere. And the thing that we need to know is that go watch a Godfather movie and see the comparisons. Really see the comparisons. They both are incredibly corrupt people with their family and their network that's all a part of this. So we may not be able to do much about it except at the ballot box, but the important thing is to recognize it, and that is the thing that all of this behavior and it really is this whole thing with Epstein. I'm sure he knew about it, but he needed to play some emotional blackmail, and that's what he did. And so all of this stuff is like about little kids' games, and the muskrat crying his crocodile tears, and Taco is like babbling a bunch of nonsense to world leaders, which is embarrassing. So this is the state we're in. So it's important to see that it is a very corrupt organization that would probably make Boss Tweed and the rest of those Tammany Hall and Teapot Dome of the 19th century go, whoa, you guys have us beat. We were pretty bad, but you have us beat. Even with the laws that you passed because of us, you have us beat. So that's pretty much in. I never know from day to day what, and I don't know if I'll see how I feel when I get to Buffalo tomorrow. If I feel up to it, would be on probably doing it on my phone. Simple reading, but that is it. There may be more. This whole thing with this fighting, it's a crumbling regime. So expect to see a lot of this from me and everybody else. So with that, I will sign off. Bye.